What is going on, fam? My name is Mike Reilley from Reilley's Tasting Room, and today we have a staple of American Blonde Ale. We have Eureka from Treehouse Brewing. Eureka is a staple of an American Blonde Ale from Treehouse. Treehouse usually has a bunch of just staple beers themselves, but this one coming in at 4.1%, so it's a light sipper, and we gotta love those light blonde ales. Cheers. So from that first exact pour, we got a really good head on there, and it's still kind of holding on to everything, which is extremely, extremely good. It is a tiny bit hazy, but you know, that's not a bad thing. You're kind of expecting that from like a light blonde ale. They usually do have that like haze to them, but you are just getting, it does, you can see that the bubbles in there, and it just smells very good within that first pour. I'm kind of getting a very citrus forward, so I'm kind of wondering to see if it's going to be as citrusy as it smells. You know, blondes sometimes are just that little light crisp type of beers. I'm assuming that Treehouse can nail something like that because they kind of been nailing all their beers for so long too. But this one just phenomenal. Cannot wait anymore. We have Eureka 4.1% American Blonde Ale from Treehouse. Cheers. Wow, this is exactly what you're kind of thinking that it's going to taste like from that smell. This one, I know Treehouse does do a couple different renditions of Eureka. I know they do a couple different ones with different hops in here, but this one is with Citra in it. So I'm assuming that that's why it's kind of getting that haziness to there, and it kind of gives that explosion of citrus in this, and that's exactly what you're getting when you're taking that first sip. You're kind of getting a little hop forward, but you're getting a very citrus forward sipper as well, which is very good. You're getting that smell. It's all kind of just going full circle with that. And you know, it does taste really light too, which you would expect for a 4.1% beer. Yeah, you are getting like that very hop forward, just very good flavor palette of sips with there. You're getting a little bit of a hop forward, but it's a super light beer as well. And I feel like you get that with the blondes. You do have a little bit of like that hoppiness up front, but it's like that light, crisp taste. I think because this is a slight bit hazier, and it has the Citra hops in there, you're not getting just as light as like a normal blonde would be, but it's still a phenomenal taste, and you still are getting those blonde tastes and notes as you would expect from something like this. And like I mentioned a couple times already, 4.1%, so like you can definitely have this as an like all day type sipper if you're outside. This is a very good summery beer, and I'm just thinking that this would be a good all-day sipper. And Eureka, I think that's it. That's why they called it that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why they did, but that's why I would. You know, it's an all-day sipper. And you know, this kind of makes sense as I'm saying it. Just kind of peeked at the back of here, and it said this is our desert island beer. So like I would assume that like that means they're out in the sun. They don't have any other beers, but they want a beer. I would want a beer if I'm on a desert island too. And you know, this is it. It's light, it's crisp, it has a really good taste, very citrus forward, and you know, that's exactly what you want in an American Blonde Ale. The first initial sip, it was a little bit more like citrus forward, and you still are getting those notes, but you do have like that hop forward taste with it as well. And then it kind of follows in like that back end when you sip it on a couple times. It does have a slight dry hopped taste as well, so you're kind of getting like a citrusy bomb up front, nothing too overbearing, but like you're getting a splash of citrus in there, and you're getting like those Citra hops, and then you're getting our dry hops on the background, and like altogether it is an extremely light beer, but it does have like a bunch of different flavor palettes in it too. And as I'm kind of like talking and letting it sit and like reminisce in the mouth, you know, I'm getting a couple different flavors, and it's getting a little bit more citrusy in there, which is extremely good. You know, it's kind of something that you want if you're kind of just out and about, sitting down. You want that good flavor, that good taste, that easy sipper. That is Eureka to the T. And I mean, just this can itself, we're going to go into here for a second. I'll tell you the accolades of this beer at the moment. So the can looks extremely, extremely cool. It definitely looks that summery vibe, and rated on Untapped, it was a #1 blonde golden ale in 2026. 2025 got #2, and 2024 got #2 on there as well. So it's obviously highly rated. And then on Beer Advocate, it scored a 95, which is extremely, extremely good. And out of all of the beers as well, it's 1,600, almost 1,700. I mean, I don't think you're going to get something as high class for like a blonde ale hitting like those top 100s unless, I don't know. I mean, I feel like those things get the IPAs. But back on to this beer. I need another sip, and then I'm going to give you guys my review. You know, Eureka, it's doing really good things. It is an amazing sipper, 4.1% blonde ale, American blonde ale. And yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, that upfront taste, you are getting those hops right up there. You're getting that big citrus bomb up there. Then you're getting followed by the little bit of a dry hopped taste, and then it kind of sits. It's a little more citrusy. You know, it's a very hop saturated beer though. I'm kind of tasting hops throughout the whole thing. For a blonde, I kind of wish it was a little bit less hoppy and just a little bit more like lighter, but this is not bad by any means. I'm thinking of like a little bit lighter style of a beer for a blonde, but again, this is phenomenal. Really good flavor, really good taste. The Citra in there is just phenomenal as well. So that being it, Treehouse's Eureka 4.1% American blonde ale has to be a 3.75 out of 5. Cheers.